Hey, it's been a while since I've made a video. So we have Inktober coming up this month. And if you haven't heard about it, it's been out for quite a while now. Basically through the month of October, I do an ink drawing a day. I've done it for about 3 years now. This is gonna be my 4th year, starting tomorrow. So what I thought I would do is, I found all my old ink drawings from Inktober. I usually have a sale or something going on, so a lot of them disappear. But I have quite a bit built up here. I thought I'd just share it with you guys, just because it's something that I enjoy doing, and my art is weird for the most part when it's mine. It's not a commission. I usually have some kind of weird story to it or an emotional thing, or sometimes I'm just being creative, since I'm an artist. So we have all these drawings here, and I'm just going to kind of go through them. Tomorrow's prompt is ring. I've been thinking a lot about that, but through this process I want to give you guys updates and videos since I haven't really kept up with my YouTube channel, and just thought I'd share it with you guys. So keep updated, be sure to subscribe. Alright guys, let's go through this and see what I have done through the years. So this first one was actually the prompt from last year, the first day, and that was poison. If you can see this is a picture of a mushroom head lady. And just so you guys know, this technique that I've been using is kind of washed out, it's messy, over very clean lines. And that's just something I started doing since I love watercolor so much. I like that kind of opaque but so much more intense with ink. So I got these cheap markers from Walmart. I don't even remember who makes them. I think they're the ones that make those coloring books at Walmart, and they bleed out with water. So with a little trust in chaos, I've learned some really cool techniques just by doing Inktober, and I think that's part of the process. And that one was just me being weird. I like to do figures. I thought poisonous mushroom. I was like, yes. So it's a little psychedelic. All right, so the next one, I don't remember the prompt, but I think it was kiss, maybe. But you can see how simple these drawings can be, because 30 days of drawing is a lot. All right, and the paper I'm using here isn't the smallest paper, and you can always go smaller. I mean, look at this pad. It's a lot smaller. And you can even go smaller than that. The challenge really is just to do a drawing a day, but I just like to challenge myself every day, so I give myself a bigger platform to work on. This one I remember was witch, and I actually kept this one. It was gonna sell, but it's a personal one I actually want to hang and put on my wall, and I just enjoyed that a lot. And my inspiration was Witch Witch, the song by Florence and the Machine. And if you're familiar with her, she has red hair, she's crazy, and she's just a very creative person, inspiring. So she kind of inspired me on that one with the scarf and the red hair. This one, oh, it's like a little character I made. He's really ugly, but this is just me drawing and trying to figure out what I want to do, and I think it was cute. I'm pretty sure the prompt was cute, so I made this very ugly, cute dog character, and on his little collar there it says Cutie P for Cutie Pie, and that's why I named him. And that was just a fun one for myself. And sometimes you really just need to do that. I think you should do a lot of these just for yourself, just because it makes it more fun. I don't know what the prompt was for this one, but that's another simple one, and I didn't sell that because I didn't like the quality. But it's very just simple, and that's fine. All right, got the prompt done, I got my ideas out of my head, and that's very important. This one was roasted. I remember that because I don't do still lives very often, and when I saw roasted, I thought of peppers, I thought of food. I love food. So I did some peppers with some markers and some ink splashes, and doing that same technique where I added some water and kind of drew out that ink, and it kind of did its own thing. But I think that came out well, very comical and very stark and bright. I have no idea, but this one is just a one with her hair blown up. I've actually done that hair pose because I haven't done that pose. That hair pose I've done quite a bit on work. I have some collectors that have a pottery piece that I've built female's face with hair going up, and then collected the painting that I did to match that. And just various times, I don't know why, I just like the hair blowing up and it just looked cool. This one was an emotional piece. Like I said, I like telling stories. I kept this for myself just because when I was younger, I was just very closed off, I guess, and there was just a lot of issues. So I don't remember the prompt, but I really love the way this ink just bled out for those shadows, and I just did the shadows and kind of made the water bleed the ink the way I wanted it to, and it just came out perfect the way I wanted it. Okay, let's see. Whale. Yeah, I remember this one. I did 2 whales last year, and I sold a whale. And then I did this one, and I wanted to use different colors, and I was just starting to do that bleeding technique. And it kind of got messy, but I still like it, I guess. Again, it's simple, so not all the time do you have to do a complex illustration. So this one, I think it's monsters, and this one goes to child abuse, actually, and that's just kind of, to children you have all these things that you call monsters, but to some children it's in their own home, so you have this overshadowing shadow of this mother who has her beer and she's yelling at this child, and he's just sitting there and he's sad, he's upset, and then the design just really brought in the background, and I'm using that same technique with the ink, but with gray markers, and I went with the permanent ink that was water resistant for the rest of this, as well as some India ink. And that's how you can be more complex, yet my lines were still very simple and the concept was just more complex. This one took me a while, and I didn't really like the way it came out with color. I wish I took pictures of this when it was black and white, but I mean, got my concept through. This one is kind of when you're getting beat down, and I can't remember what it said. It might have been fist or broken, I don't know. But I like to do more serious things, so I did this. Okay, that gets the concept around. Let's see. All right, this one I think was heart, and it's just a hand letting go of a heartstring. I was very into hands that year. This was the year before last, and it's just so simple, and I love it. This one is for sale this year. I'll probably put it in my sell bin. But again, just simple things that distribute a lot of emotion if you read into it that way. And to some people, it's like, okay, it's a hand dropping a string, why? But there's always something when I'm doing art, whether I realize it or not. This one is drowning. I remember that prompt. This is a man drowning himself in whatever liquid you may assume. I mean, my intentions were alcohol, but it really could just be an old man that's very thirsty. So, yeah. Oh, this one. The person who bought it decided they didn't want it last minute, so I just kept it. And I actually very, I love this piece. Its title of this one was A Sun That Fell in Love with the Moon. And again, it's just those hands. They're very stylized in my own way. And I did colored people. She's the sun reaching for the moon. And it's kind of just this little love story, I guess. When you reach out to things that might be impossible to some, or they might not understand it, but then there you are, you're doing it anyway, you're happy. Fire maybe, flames, not sure. I got a little crazy on this one with the ink, just the way it bled and everything. I think it worked for this piece, but some of it isn't the way I imagined it, I suppose. This year I'm going to be working with more techniques. I'm actually working on ordering different art boxes. So this month is an Inktober box from Paletful Packs, and I'm going to be opening that for probably my next video. It's coming pretty soon, as well as showing you progress on where I am with Inktober. This one, I want to say protection or protector. I didn't have much time on this one, so I literally got a marker and started drawing this helmet that I just Googled off of a web search browser, and I did this pose of this knight holding their baby, trying to protect them because they're fragile. You know, it's just the concept of parenthood and how their parents should be there for their children, I suppose. This one, the prompt is on it. Fragile. And as we all know, hearts are fragile. And I kind of did that postal fragile thing. I think I should have put fragile at the top too. You know how those steps are on fragile. And I was doing hands again. So, simple yet complex kind of idea there. It's really just putting it together. This one I did right after that one, I think, and I think it was like baby or mother or something. And I did the fetus in ink and the hands of the pregnant lady through that one. I was gonna gift that to someone, but I never did. I might do that this year. I mean, their baby's doing very well, so it's a little late to be sent, but it works out. This one, this one is time, and it's just a simple pose. I did more cartoonish, I guess, and if you read the time, the shorthand's at 12 and 12:45, I guess, would be the name of this piece. I remember I just did out time, and I was just messing around with my inks. I used a paper towel to kind of get that texture, and I was just playing around. And I like to do that. I like to play around. These things are great to learn from, these challenges. I also do watercolor month. This is when I was really getting into the marker technique with the water. And I was getting a lot more control. And as you can see, this is a lot more detailed. I'm not going to say cleaner because it still has that messy look to it that I honestly love. And the way I did the smoke there was a new technique I was learning, and I was looking up all these different techniques for smoke, and I found that, and I was like, wow, if I do that ink with the water, and it'll really smoky it up. So just learn from these guys. We got a few more. So this one, I want to say it was food or pork or a pig. I don't know. I honestly don't remember. But this one, it's just food. I like food. There's a hand. I wanted to use a hand, and I did it. All right. So again, I had a lot of compliments on this piece, and I just was doing it for the heck of it, kind of thing. So you never know how people are going to respond. I recommend you guys putting your work on your social media and getting it out there and putting a price tag on it. During the month of Inktober, I do $50 to $75 for original pieces, and I just send them out like this in between cardboard, and people love it. They frame it and stuff. It saves you a lot of time for framing, as well as getting your work out there for reasonable price, so you're not feeling like you're spending all this time and then asking for so much money. So I just think it's a real good process for you to just put it on social media, and some people will be like, wow, I really like that. You'll be like, well, it's for sale, right? So here's another emotional piece. This is an abusive relationship. I did that shadow there, kind of like I did with the child abuse one, and that was just kind of my thing at the time. I was in my head a lot, but I really love this pose and how it really caught the emotion I was going for right there. Yeah, let's not get too deep, guys. Let's see. This one, I have no idea. I think it was double or twins, and it's him fighting himself, but he's green and the other one's red, or vice versa, and it's kind of like your internal battles, I guess. And I was just getting so crazy with that color. So, yawn. I think that's actually the prompt was yawn or tired, maybe. But I love the way the ink settled on this one. The colors really just worked well with it. Yeah, it just kind of worked. Alright, this one was a fan art, and that's why I haven't sold it. This is Moira off of Overwatch, and she's just a character I really enjoy. She's Irish, she's a scientist, she's very snotty, just tells people off. She'll just tell different things, like my voice line was like, get off the stage, stupidity is not right, kind of thing, and just stupid things. And here's my first year of Inktober, and I found this. In the background had all this ink I didn't like, so I put water on it and washed it out, and I like it better. But that was my first time with markers, like ever. So that's a good one to end this on because that's it. All right. So that's all we have right now. This month, expect a video every week or bi-weekly of me updating my progress on my Inktober's. I'm really excited. I have a lot of these planned out. Tomorrow, I'm thinking of 2 different ideas. I'm not going to tell you right now, just so it's more of a surprise. But let's see what happens. And this year, I actually got a bigger pad, just a little. So this was the one I used for the last 3 years, and I just kept buying the same size, and this is the size I'm using now. And you may see some that are smaller, but this is my goal, to use a bigger canvas, challenge myself, more space, more details, trying different techniques, using the old techniques I've learned. I have my markers, I have my pens, I have my India ink, and I do have that palette full box in the mail. So I really hope that it's gonna be good. If you like to see what I'm doing, be sure to subscribe, like, and share those videos. Alright, so let's get to inking. Don't ask why I have this big of a brush. I'm not gonna use